Saxon Algebra 1/2, Lesson 97. Caleb, greetings. Today we're just going to practice some basic algebra. These are called technically two-step problems. And this is a general category of problems that will work for years, where in the first step you solve for one variable and then you use that value to solve the second part of the problem. There are lots of variations on this theme, but we'll always call them by that name, two-step problems. Okay, here's the way the first, just the basics. There's no story to this. Later we'll have, like chemistry and physics context. And pretend I could write this all in one line. If 2x plus 4 equals 6, what is 3x minus 7? Okay, so what we do here is we take the equation, we solve that, we get a value for x, and then we plug it into that expression. Ready, set, and go. So let's start with this. I'm just going to work it from where it's written. We'll subtract 4, right? To swim the plain number fish to the right. We get 2x equals 2. We divide both sides by 2. We get x equals 1. That cancels. Okay, then we take this and we plug it in there. So I'm going to just bring it down so we have a little bit more room. We'll have 3 times 1 minus 7 is 3 minus 7 equals negative 4. That is our final answer. Okay? Alright, that wasn't too horrible. Now we're going to throw in a fraction. Example 97.2. This time I'm not going to copy down the whole problem at once. I'm going to copy down this part, and then once we solve it for x or whatever the letter is, then I'll get the second part. Okay, so the first part is 4x minus 2 equals 3. Alright, we say let's leave the x's here, let's swim the plain numbers to the right. So we'll add 2. There are no like terms or anything like that. John's keeping it nice and clean for us. This cancels. 4x equals 5. Best friend go home. And we get x equals 4 over 5. Oh, a bit harder. Now we go get the second part, the what is, and it's 2/5. And then that's where the x is. I'm just going to put brackets there. I'll just write an x there. Minus 1/4. Oh, shoot. So the second expression has a bunch of fractions in it, too. All right. Well, let's just see what we get. Oh, wait. I did this wrong. You probably noticed that. 4x equals 5. I divide by 4. And my answer is 5/4. My 5s and 4s are making sense. Okay, that I like. So now this is our value for x. X goes in here. 5 over 4. The 5's cancel. I could reduce this further, but I see, look, if I leave it like this, then I'll have matching denominators. I'll have 2/4 minus 1/4, which I really like for a final answer of 1/4. Yay. Okay, so that's something to think about as we tend to think, always simplify it as soon as you can, which isn't a bad rule, but every once in a while that rule. And when I notice, oh, look, my denominators match, I stop. I'm not going to go anymore. Okay, let's try 97.3. Look at the shadows on my paper. My rose bush. 97.3. If 4/3 x minus 2 equals 4. Okay, and then I'll do the second step. I'll copy the second step when we get to it. First, we want to solve this for x. All right, I see this fraction. It worries me, but I'm just going to add 2 to both sides and deal with that much first. 4/3 x. That's gone equals 6. Now, I think I'm multiplying, I should divide, but I don't want to divide by a fraction. So I go, oh, right, I can multiply by a circle. I'm going to make this into a fraction. This cancels. I what can I do? I can simplify this, 3 and 2, right? And so my answer will be 9 halves. All right, that's my value for x, right? I'll put a squiggly line underneath that. I often do that in two, squiggle it or do something to highlight that so I know, okay. And then my second part, it says what is the value of 6x minus 2 over 5. All right, so I'm going to put 9 over 2 in here. I'm going to make this the fraction club. I'm going to, let's see, I'll do this. I'll make that 3. The 2 is not going to help me. That denominator of 2 is not going to help me with that denominator of 5. So I'll just go ahead and cancel this all the way down. I get 27 minus 2 over 5. So now I have to restate this as a fraction with 5 on the bottom. So 5 is 135 over 5, right? Because we want this to be a denominator with 5 on the bottom. So we multiply 5 times the top to get our new numerator, 135 minus 2, both over 5. And we get our final answer of 133 over 5, or this, I prefer to see it written as an improper fraction. If you want to get the answer that John gives us, 27 minus 2/5, I know that that would be, what, 26 and 3/5, right? And that is the answer that John gives. So, both of those are fine. If you wanted to test, you could go, okay, 26 times 5, that is 130 plus 3 more is 133/5, right? See how I switched this into an improper fraction to compare. Okay, so these are two-step problems. We use the first step to solve for a value for x or whatever letter, and then we use that value to plug in the expression, and then we simplify that. That is lesson 97. Enjoy.